This is Android Basics, in which we bring you up to date on the things that you should know to use your Android phone.
Now we move on to our Android Basics section, and John continues our look at OneUI, and we move into advanced settings.
Hello, and welcome back to our series on Samsung's OneUI. Today we'll be covering
Advanced Features, Advanced Intelligence, Labs S Pen.
I'm going to go in here.
Advanced Features. Navigate up. Button.
And here are the options we have.
Advanced Intelligence.
Now, depending on what version of OneUI you're running and what phone you're running, you may or may not have these settings. These are the AI settings. I'm going to go in here.
Advanced Intelligence. Navigate up. Button.
And what this seems to be is
Get the most out of your phone with these powerful features.
just a place where it tells you what all the features are and how to use them. They're not necessarily settings where you turn things on and off, but I'll just show you what's in here.
Phone. Get real-time translation during voice calls. Samsung Keyboard. Change the tone of your writing, get spelling and grammar suggestions, and translate messages in select chat and text messaging apps. Interpreter. Live translation of spoken conversations available as voice or text output. Samsung Notes. Automatically format, summarize, correct, translate, and generate covers for your notes. Voice Recorder. Transform recordings into text transcripts and summaries you can review and translate. Samsung Internet. Get simple summaries of web page text, along with full translations. Photo Editor. Reimagine images by moving, removing, or resizing the people and objects in them, then generating new background to fill in any missing pieces. Process data only on device. For added privacy, process data for advanced intelligence features on your device instead of online. Online processing of data provides the best results and is required for some advanced intelligence features off switch.
Now here's the first actual setting we get to, and it's whether or not you want the processing to only happen on device. So you could set that to happen, and of course you won't get access to all the features if you do that. So again, if you want to learn more about any of these features, you would just go in there and it would give you more detail. But I'm going to back out.
Advanced Features. Advanced Intelligence.
Next we have
Bixby.
Bixby. Again, depending on your device, if you're running OneUI Core, you may not have any of these features or may not have all of these features, but I'm going to go in here.
Bixby Settings. Try recommended feature.
And here's what we have.
Samsung Account.
Which Samsung account you're using.
Voice Wake Up. Wake up Bixby by voice.
Whether or not you want Bixby to wake up with either saying Hi Bixby or Bixby, you can choose between the two.
Language and voice style.
What voice style you want, I'll just go in here and demonstrate them.
Language and voice style. Navigate up. Button.
Now obviously, depending on which language you have selected, you may have different voices.
Selected. Radio button. Voice 1.
That's basically what you're hearing right now with the TTS.
Not selected. Radio button. Voice 2.
Hi, my name is Bixby.
That's voice 2.
Not selected. Radio button. Voice 3.
Hi, my name is Bixby.
Not selected. Radio button. Voice 4.
Hi,
Selected.
my name is Bixby.
Custom voice.
You have custom voices.
Not selected. Radio button. My voice 1.
I think I made this, I trained this on my voice.
Hi, my name is Bixby.
So I'll let you decide whether or not you think that sounds like me. But yeah, you can create a voice model of based on your own voice if you want to.
Hi, my name is Bixby.
I guess it kind of sounds like me. I'm going to put it back to the regular voice 1.
Not selected. Radio button. Voice 1. Hi, my name is Bixby.
All right, backing out of here.
Bixby settings. Language and voice style.
Next we have,
Bixby feedback.
this is whether you want Bixby to make a sound when it starts listening and stops listening, and also how verbal you want Bixby to be, whether you want her to respond out loud or just show the text on screen. Next,
Use while locked.
use while locked. I think that's self-explanatory.
Advanced features. Heading.
Then we have some advanced features,
Offline processing.
and this is whether you want everything to happen offline or not. Obviously, you won't have access to as much features if you choose this.
Talk to Bixby without wake up.
This lets you say certain things like, answer on speaker, reject, snooze, dismiss, if you're getting an alarm or a phone call. There's certain words you can say, and if you turn this on, it makes it so you don't have to say Bixby before those words. You can just say the word to make that thing happen.
Preferred services.
So this is kind of like choosing default apps. If you say send an email, what email app is it going to use? If you say add to my calendar, what calendar app? That sort of thing.
Notifications.
You can turn on or off Bixby notifications.
Get news and special offers. Off switch.
If you really want news and special offers, you can get those.
Bixby country/region. United States. Show Bixby on app screen. Off switch.
This is whether you want it to show up in your app drawer or not to get to Bixby and Bixby's settings.
Unlinked device.
And this is basically if you want to remove Bixby from this device.
Personalization. Heading. Personalize Bixby. On.
And this is whether or not you want Bixby to adapt to how you use it. It keeps track of how often you do certain things and adjusts it accordingly. And then below this,
Customization service. On.
same sort of thing. And then below this is just the privacy statement and that sort of thing. Backing out.
Advanced features. Bixby.
After Bixby, we have,
Smart suggestions.
this is similar to Google Smart Suggestions. You can have it recommend replies and that sort of thing, but obviously you're allowing it to read your messages and that type of thing to predict what you're going to say. So you could choose to turn this on or off. Next we have,
Labs.
labs are, well, let's just go in here and see if it tells us.
Labs. Navigate up. Button. Try experimental features. Some features may not work correctly with all apps. Multi-window for all apps. Allow all apps to open in pop-up view or split screen, including apps that haven't been designed for these layouts. Off switch.
That's pretty self-explanatory.
Dark mode apps.
Now this, I'm going to go in here because this, I'm not sure what it does.
Dark mode apps. Navigate up. Button.
Well, I think I understand what it does, but there's not very many apps, if any.
Choose apps that will always use dark mode, even when your phone is set to light mode. If an app is set to use light mode in the app settings, it will appear in light mode regardless of what you set here.
Okay, so this is not force dark mode or anything. It's just to permanently allow dark mode in apps that already support dark mode. And the list here only has one item for me.
YouTube. On.
YouTube.
Switch.
So that's it. So kind of a useless feature.
Labs. Dark mode apps.
Next.
Photo ambient wallpaper. Photo ambient wallpaper uses advanced intelligence to change your own photo based on the time and weather. You can set this as your wallpaper in settings, wallpaper, and style change wallpapers.
Most of us are probably not interested in that, so backing out because that's all that's in this section.
Advanced features. Labs.
Next we have,
S Pen.
again, very device specific, but I'll just go through here so you can see what some of the options are.
S Pen. Navigate up. Button. Air actions. Ready. S Pen. Inserted. Air actions. On. Air actions. Switch.
So air actions are gestures you can do with your pen to control certain aspects like skipping media, opening specific apps. You can basically customize it to do whatever you want.
Air command. Standard style with 4 shortcuts.
That's the style that it's set to.
Air view. Pointer only.
This is what you want to happen when you hover over a certain part of the screen with the pointer without touching it.
S Pen to text. Works with Samsung keyboard only disabled.
So obviously you can just write on the screen if the Samsung keyboard is on screen instead of typing.
When S Pen is removed, do nothing.
If you want a specific app like the Notes app to launch every time you remove the S Pen, you can set it to do that, or anything you want really.
Screen off memos. Write notes while the screen is off. Just remove the S Pen and start writing on. Switch.
Yep.
Quick notes. Press and hold the pen button, then tap the screen twice with your S Pen to create a new note. On. Switch. More S Pen settings.
And I won't go in here, but there is even more settings. But backing out.
Advanced features. S Pen.
Next,
Side button.
we can customize the side button, kind of.
Side button. Navigate up. Button.
Here are the options.
Double press. On. Switch.
This switch is for whether you want a double press to do anything at all.
Selected. Radio button. Quick launch camera.
Then you can choose whether you want it to launch a camera
Not selected. Radio button. Open app.
or launch a specific app. And conveniently, if you have Google Assistant as an app on your device, it will not show up in this list. So you'll have to do a workaround if you want that to work.
Settings. Button. Disabled.
This is where you would select which app it opens.
Press and hold.
And press and hold,
Selected. Radio button. Wake Bixby.
or,
Not selected. Radio button. Power off menu.
and if you have it set to Bixby, the way you would get to the power menu is by pressing and holding volume down and the side key. So just like you're going to take a screenshot, but instead of releasing the buttons, you hold them both for about a second or two.
Advanced features. Side button.
Next we have
Multi-window. Multi-window. Navigate up. Button.
and here are the options in here.
Swipe for split screen. Disabled.
Now, the reason this is disabled for me is because I have something assigned to the accessibility gesture. Because the gesture to do this is to swipe up from the bottom of the screen with 2 fingers. And that's also the accessibility gesture, so that's why this is disabled for me. You can enable it if you don't have anything assigned to that shortcut.
Swipe for pop-up view.
See what this says.
Swipe for pop-up view. Swipe from the top corner toward the middle of the screen to change to pop-up view.
This is if you want the current app that you're in to be a floating app. I don't know how difficult this would be to do with 2 fingers. You're welcome to try it out if you want to. But I think most of us probably don't use floating apps. Next is,
Full screen and split screen view.
what this does is it makes it so that anytime you have split screen enabled, meaning there's one app at the top half and one app at the bottom half of the screen, it will hide your status bar and your navigation bar if you have one, just to give you a little bit more room. And swiping up from the bottom of the screen with 2 fingers or top of the screen with 2 fingers will show those areas. And that's all that's in this section.
Advanced features. Multi-window.
Next we have,
Motions and gestures.
let's go in here.
Motions and gestures. Navigate up. Button. Lift to wait. Turn on the screen when you pick up your phone. Off switch.
And next we have,
Double tap to turn on screen. Turn on the screen when you double tap it. Off switch.
and
Alert when phone picked up. Your phone will vibrate when you pick it up after missing a call or message. On switch.
this is actually nice. I like this feature.
Mute with gestures. Mute incoming calls and alarms by putting your hand over the screen or turning your phone face down. Off switch. Palm swipe to capture. Swipe the edge of your hand across the screen to take a screenshot. Off switch.
And those are all the options in this area.
Advanced features. Motions and gestures.
Next.
One-handed mode.
And this, we can't really use. It won't let you turn it on if you're running TalkBack or magnification or some other accessibility services. So moving on,
Screenshots and screen recordings.
go in here.
Screenshots and screen recordings. Navigate up. Button.
First we have a screenshots section.
Screenshots. Heading. Show toolbar after capturing.
This is if you want options to pop up after you take a screenshot for sharing or capturing more of a screenshot and so on.
Delete after sharing. Automatically select the delete after sharing option when you share screenshots, screen write images, and smart select captures. On switch.
That's a nice feature. So you don't have a whole bunch of screenshots being saved and backed up to your account.
Hide status and navigation bars. Off switch.
Actually, I'm going to turn this on.
On.
I don't really want that stuff in my screenshots.
Save original screenshots. This lets you revert to the original screenshots after editing them in gallery, but it uses more storage space. Off switch.
And next.
Format. JPG.
And this will let you select between JPEG and PNG.
Save screenshots in. Internal storage /DCIM/screenshots.
Where you want them saved.
Screen recordings. Heading.
And then under screen recordings.
Record sound. Media and mic. Video quality. High 1080p. Selfie video size. Small. Large. 50%. Selfie video size. Slider. Show taps and touches. On. Switch. Save screen recordings in. Internal storage /DCIM/screen recordings.
And a couple of these settings you can change every time you start the screen recording. Those being whether you want touches to show on the screen and what audio source you want it to record, whether it be device audio only, mic only, or both. Backing out of this section.
Advanced features. Screenshots and screen recordings. Show contacts when sharing content. Off switch.
And this controls what the share sheet looks like. So by default, this is on, and along the top of the share sheet, you will have recent contacts you've conversed with. And then under that will be the actual apps you want to share with. So I usually just want to pick the app and then the contacts, so I have this turned off. Next we have
Video call effects.
going in here.
Video call effects. Navigate up. Button.
Now this also depends on your device. I think it uses AI.
Add extra tools to your favorite video calling apps. You can hide your background for privacy and use auto framing so everyone stays in view. How to use during video calls. Background color. Heading. Selected. FF000000. Radio button. Selected.
So you could choose your background color. I have it just set to show black background around me when I'm on a video call. So you can change that color to whatever you want, or
Background image. Heading.
You can select an image to show behind you.
Add image. Button.
And then below this is just a list of the supported apps.
Available apps. Heading. Messenger. Meet. WhatsApp. Zoom.
And that's all that it supports of the apps installed on my device.
Advanced features. Video call effects.
Next,
Video brightness. Bright.
and although this setting is not in accessibility, I think it is an accessibility feature. You can set it to play videos extra bright. And if you go in here, you can turn it on or off, but there's also a list of apps that support it. So if you only want it to be bright in certain apps, you can adjust them accordingly. Next,
Dual messenger. Sign into a second account in your favorite social apps.
I'll go in here
Dual messenger. Navigate up. Button.
just to show you which apps it supports.
Available apps. Heading. Off WhatsApp switch. Off Facebook switch. Off Telegram switch. Off Messenger switch. Supported apps will appear here after you install them.
So again, those are what's supported of the apps I have installed. So there could be more apps that are supported. And at the bottom of the screen,
Use separate contacts list. Turn this on to use a separate list of contacts in your second copies of apps.
and that was the last setting in the advanced features section. So I will now send it back to the crew for further discussion.
Quite a range of things in here was what immediately struck me. And anything in particular you want to drill down into, John, from that demo?
Just to point out, I know I did a couple times during the walkthrough, but a lot of these features are going to be different device to device depending on your hardware and whether or not you're running OneUI or OneUI Core. But yeah, there can be a lot in here.
Yeah, cut across a whole range of different things. Obviously, Pixels don't have advanced settings, do they? I won't comment on why that is.
They definitely don't have as many advanced features. They might have a section called, actually, I don't even know if they have a section called.
No, they don't.
advanced, but
There's no
yeah.
advanced settings in Pixels. Sally, Karine, you both use your day-to-day Samsung drivers, aren't you? Any particular thing you want to flag here?
Well, I'm so much sad because I don't have Bixby. I tried to search for Bixby in my advanced settings, but I couldn't find it. And the reason is that I already uninstalled everything's Bixby related from my phone 3 years ago. So actually, advanced settings is something good, but Bixby itself is not advanced. I don't know why they are putting it in the advanced settings anyway. They should put it somewhere else. But yeah, I think it is really something nice, the advanced settings. And the labs section, I hope that they just do more things in the labs section. But it is something interesting.
Yeah, there's very little in the lab section. There used to be a lot more in there. I think they just, as features become less experimental, they just move them out into the regular settings. But yeah, right now it's pretty barren.
Why did you uninstall Bixby?
Because I don't want to have some trouble with another assistant. Actually, I have one and I'm used to it, and I don't want to spend time with another one just because Samsung wants to copy Google.
It's nice that they removed the settings for you, though. So at least there's not stuff sitting there that doesn't do anything.
Maybe
Yeah,
on Android 14 this will be the case. I'm not sure.
Yeah, a whole bunch of grayed out settings that you can see but can't do anything with. That would be annoying.
I actually I did something worse than uninstall Bixby. I uninstalled, and I don't recommend this, Samsung's keyboard, because when I use Samsung's TalkBack and I'm using the Braille keyboard and I do the 3-finger swipe to go back to the regular keyboard, it always puts me in Samsung's keyboard no matter what my previous default was. So I just removed Samsung keyboard and now it puts me back in Gboard.
Is that because the
Interesting.
3-finger swipe down does it? All it does is move you to the next keyboard, I think, doesn't it?
Yeah,
So
exactly.
it won't take you to the default. It'll just take you to whatever's next. Could you not have reordered your keyboards?
Well, see, the thing is, it says it takes you to the next keyboard, but Samsung's version of TalkBack takes you to Samsung's keyboard, and Google's version of TalkBack takes you to Google's keyboards. So I don't
Oh,
think
okay.
it's really the next.
No, fair enough. If you've got 3 installed and it doesn't do that, yeah.
And you will not miss anything when you uninstall Samsung keyboard. So it's not a big deal actually. But
Unless
uh,
you accidentally uninstall Gboard and don't have any other keyboards, then you might find yourself in a predicament.
because it's easy to uninstall it. Yeah, because it's not a system.
But it's funny, John, because I've also done that on my Galaxy S22 Ultra, and I'm not like the Samsung keyboard, so I also uninstalled it but because I thought it was not a talkback problem, but a software thing. But I realized when I installed a Google Talkback that this was not a software feature, but a talkback function who picks up your keyboard, which keyboard you have to use. And like you said, Samsung using their own and Google using their own keyboard.
Yeah, I wish they would both just use whatever your default is. That would be nice.
Exactly.
Interesting. Christian, it sounds like we'll get on to what phones you have and have used in the Android journey. But anything you want to say about advanced settings while we're here?
I got a Pixel and I miss some of the functions you get on my Galaxy. I can just switch over my to my Galaxy if it is, but I miss some of the special functions and the customization functions you got in the advanced settings, like where you can do something like in the something to the phone so it's more personalized feeling you will get in this segment also.
Absolutely.